Private members' business. Consideration of motion M-227, instruction to the Standing Committee on Human Resources, Skills and Social Development and the Status of Persons with Disabilities, Federal Trade Strategy. Standing in the name of Mr. Badawey.
Mr. Badawey, seconded by Mr. Bayliss, moves that the Standing Committee on Human Resources, Skills and Social Development and the Status of Persons with Disabilities be instructed to undertake a study of the creation of a federal trades strategy to consider, amongst other things, I, regional labor shortages in the skilled trades, 2, the impact that labor shortages could have on major projects across Canada, et 3, la mesure dans
and 3, how skills shortages are exacerbating these labor shortages by preventing workers from being able to find employment.
The honourable member for Niagara Centre.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I stand in the House today to call attention to the enigma of our time. Too many Canadians, Madam Speaker, are seeking good quality, secure jobs with too little help. At the same time, too many industries are in desperate need of skilled workers. Therein lies the opportunity, and as such, I am tabling this motion to establish a federal trade strategy to consider, amongst other things, Madam Speaker, 1, regional labor shortages in the skilled trades, 2, the impact labor shortages could have on major projects across this great nation, and 3, how skill shortages are exasperating these labor shortages by preventing workers, Madam Speaker, from being able to find employment. Madam Speaker, we have made remarkable strides since elected almost 4 years ago. One of our greatest achievements, for which we have all worked so diligently together, is that by working together, we established an environment to create 1 million new jobs. Fair. 1 million new jobs since November 2015. However, as we celebrate this achievement, Madam Speaker, we know there is much more work to do to further progress. Some provinces and regions across this great country are struggling to find enough workers to fill open positions. Niagara is no exception. This is what I will speak on today: the severe shortage of skilled trades workers and how important it is that we take action now. Niagara, not unlike other jurisdictions, is beginning to experience a skilled trades shortage. A need for welders, pipe fitters, boilermakers, seafarers, tile setters, plumbers, technicians, cooks, chefs, and other hands-on, hard-working, skilled tradespeople. I have heard from our business community, our overall community, residents, and others, as well as union partners across Niagara, as have many of my colleagues here in the House, that there is an immediate and severe lack of skilled tradespeople. The 2019 contractor survey conducted by the Ontario Construction Secretariat conducted a survey in the first few months of this year to understand key issues affecting the industrial, commercial, and institutional construction sectors in the province of Ontario. Of the 500 contractors surveyed, Madam Speaker, 72% identified a skilled labor shortage and the recruitment of skilled workers as the main challenge facing the industry. Not surprisingly, this problem had a wide range impact, including increased project delays as well as costs, the need to turn down work, and overall slowed growth. Our government can help. Our government will help. Thanks to the efforts of the Honourable Patty Hajdu, Minister of Workforce, Employment and Labour, the Minister...
The honourable member knows that he's not to mention names of MPs or ministers that sit in the House, and I would just ask him to be mindful of that. The honourable member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thanks to the efforts of the Minister of Workforce, Employment and Labour, our government has significantly boosted federal support to provinces and territories by $2.7 billion over the 6 years. This to help more unemployed and underemployed Canadians access the training and employment supports they need to find and keep good jobs. And we've invested $225 million over 4 years to identify and fill skill gaps in the economy to help Canadians be best prepared, Madam Speaker, for the new economy. But we can't do it alone. Once again, Madam Speaker, we have worked with our partners to bring forward federal supports. It is critical that our working relationship continues well into the future. Although we have momentum to build on, we as a government and as a country, Madam Speaker, must continue to listen. We must be engaged with our partners, employees, employers, to best understand their unique needs. By engaging and encouraging people to tell their story, we promote understanding and create the framework that we can use to work toward our common goals. As one of our partners put it succinctly, Madam Speaker, nothing about us without us. Thankfully, employers and employees alike see the value in working together. According to one of our many partners, Hassan Yousaf, the president of the Canadian Labour Congress, and I quote, "Workers need to retool and upgrade their skills in order to be successful and to succeed in Canada's rapidly changing labour market. But far too often, they're not getting the support they need. Today, Canada's public spending on training is about half the OECD average. And in real terms, employers invest less in per-employee training and adult learning than they did 25 years ago. Too many employers simply don't invest in on-the-job training and vocational education for workers, and it's holding us back. Employers need a new generation of skilled workers to replace retiring baby boomers, and workers need access to skilled training as well as upgrading to cope with the technological change and the impact of climate change policies. We can overcome skill shortages, but we need to listen to stakeholders and learn what works in other jurisdictions." End of quote. Support for this motion and the creation of a federal trade strategy, Madam Speaker, is wide-ranging and spans across industries. Arlene Dunn of Canada's Building Trades Union clearly states, and I quote, "It is absolutely crucial that the Government of Canada instruct the appropriate body and include the appropriate stakeholders to undertake a study for the creation of a federal trade strategy to ensure Canada remains both nationally and globally competitive, well prepared for the future, while utilizing all resources available." End of quote. However, a federal trade strategy doesn't only help where demand outspaces the supply of workers. For example, Canada's marine industry is thriving, and in Niagara, home of the Welland Canal, along the St. Lawrence Seaway, on the Great Lakes, there are more applicants than jobs, yet there are struggles with access to the necessary training to open opportunities to new workers. In his own words, Jim Given, president of the Seafarers International Union of Canada, says, "Though we have seen a surplus of applications for Canadians and permanent residents interested in joining the industry, continued access to proper training, funding for education, and providing upgrading opportunities for current seafarers is essential. In having government work with labor organizations to identify current labor and skill gaps, we can together ensure that the future needs of our country's marine transportation industry are in fact met, and that these good-paying middle-class jobs are made available to Canadians, both entering the labor market as well as those looking to transfer current skills to this growing industry. We are encouraged to see this government take the necessary steps to undertake a study to identify labor shortages in the industry with a view to developing and creating a federal trades strategy. That will, among other things, Madam Speaker, assist our industry to ensure our mariners have access to the resources necessary to retain and to improve the skills set needed to and needed for this particular industry, as well as recruit and train the next generation of seafarers. Madam Speaker, there is, however, one aspect of partnerships that we have yet to discuss, and that is the how. While it is certainly critical to identify skill gaps and the need to train new workers, we also need to consider how we will accomplish this. In one sense, the answer is deceptively simple. invite our partners to the table, invite our high schools, invite our post-secondary institutions, invite the private sector, the unions, and all levels of government to the table. During my former life as a mayor, we worked then with our partners, as just described, and were successful in putting in place a program that brought students together, beginning at the secondary school level into the skilled trades. Today, we continue to work with our partners to further the interest of employers as well as employees. Dialogue that has begun to contribute to the context of what a federal skills trade strategy will look like and what we will look to work toward. For example, through consistent dialogue with our partners, we have heard loud and clear and recognize, Madam Speaker, that balancing parental roles and work life in the construction industry is critical. Balancing multiple priorities, making trade-off decisions, and placing high value on tradespeople who are, in fact, raising families. Retirements and an aging population are beginning to have an impact on the future of our industries. Knowledge and technical transfer to strategically support the processes to innovate and adapt to changing environmental, safety, production, and market conditions are factors that must be a priority. Unions have taken leadership roles in the work of skilled trade promotion and advocacy. Many of them have hired in-house rank-and-file member expertise, whose job is to focus entirely on the promotion of their trade and raising public profile. We need to work with them to do more education, educating young people about the opportunity to access well-paid, in-demand, highly valuable training, and teaching them about the economics associated with belonging to the skilled trades, organized trades, exemplary pensions included, as well as health and welfare benefits, and the ability to obtain a rewarding career. If we are going to succeed in making a real tangible difference for underrepresented groups, we must in fact advocate for the implementation of strategic tools that build community wealth and human capacity, beneficial for underrepresented groups, veterans, and persons with disabilities, offering tremendous opportunity that unfortunately might not exist otherwise. In doing so, we create the opportunity to learn from experts in education as well as training, and identify existing programs that can be adapted or changed to meet local and national industry needs, as well as attracting and attaching safety training at a younger age to ensure safer working environments. In Niagara, we are extremely fortunate and proud to have Niagara College and Brock University working to this end. As good corporate citizens, responsible neighbors, and community leaders, these institutions do an amazing job not only providing education, but also understanding the unique needs of the community they in fact serve. A common thread for Niagara College and Brock University are well-developed, tried and true cooperative education programs through which students learn in a hands-on environment taught by industry experts. Applying classroom knowledge to real-world, on-the-job experiences better prepares students to be successful in the workforce. Consequently, employers are more confident that their needs can be met and spend less money retraining or compensating for a lack of skilled workers. Secondary schools can also be a big part of this equation as well. Through programs such as the Specialist High Skill Major Programs, which is part of the Ministry of Education Student Success Initiative in the province of Ontario, dual credit and co-op program students are better prepared to transition successfully into the workforce, whereby co-op programs at the secondary school level can begin. Mark Cherney, business manager of the IBEW, Local 303, and president of the Niagara and Haldimand Building Trades Council, tells us, and I quote, Madam Speaker, "Shortage in the skilled trades are a genuine concern. With a national strategic trades plan, we can better predict where and when these shortfalls will occur, and how labor mobility from across the country can serve to mitigate shortages. A study on how labor mobility strategies can be explored, as well as attracting and retaining more women, Indigenous people, youth, and new Canadians to a career path in the skilled trades is needed. The current government has done a great job investing in the skilled trades, And now is the time for the next step, and that is for a national strategy. In summary, Mark Cherney says a unified national Red Seal standard for compulsory skilled trades will go a long way, Madam Speaker, to tackle the concerns of skilled shortages. Madam Speaker, it has been a great pleasure this evening to present this motion to my colleagues in the House. I look forward to seeing what we together can accomplish by working together to find solutions to such challenges. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Questions and